I'm a common man, I'm a sinner, and I'm a failure. So I went to the US on 4 things. I went on a trust, I went on a faith, I went on a promise, and I went to live an American dream. If you enter America legally, it is heaven. But if you enter America illegally, it is hell. This industry of human trafficking is a $150 billion industry. I lost my voice, I lost my courage, I lost my hope, and I lost my freedom. That survivors are poor starters, but strong finishers. My name is Harold Henry D'Souza. I am a survivor of labor trafficking and debt bondage in the United States of America. But first and foremost, I would like to thank Joe's Talks for organizing this inspirational talk. I just want to tell how a victim's life changes and to survivor and then to thriver. Before having said that, I just want to tell you 3 things about me. I am a common man, I am a sinner, and I am a failure. I was raised in India. And I am from Mangalore, Bajpe, Karnataka, but born and raised in Gujarat. And in my house there was no running water and electricity. But today I just want to tell that in India, people say that going to the United States of America is like going to heaven. So I was invited to USA for an H-1B visa as a business development manager on a $75,000 salary. So I went to the US on 4 things. I went on a trust, I went on a faith, I went on a promise, and I went to live an American dream. But little did I know the day I landed, my perpetrator or trafficker asked me, Harold, are you carrying any cash? And I was carrying $1,000 cash. And he told me, Harold, this is America. You cannot keep any cash on you. It is not safe. So I gave the $1,000, I gave my documents, and that's it. But my wife and myself, we were made to work 7 days a week, 365 days, and used to work from 14 hours to 16 hours in a restaurant. And accommodation was available next door. So labor trafficking in the United States of America happens at 4 places because I got re-victimized there. That's at the restaurants, gas tables, convenience stores, and motels. And they give you accommodation next door. Why? Because the risk factor in human labor trafficking is very thin, but the profit margins are very thick. Because when they give accommodation next door, number 1, labor is available 24 hours. You do not have to pay them anything. Number 2 is that their lodging, boarding is taken care, so you do not have to pay salary to them. And lastly, most of them are immigrants, and these immigrants do not have a bank account. Having said that, immigrants from India, Nepal, Pakistan, Mexico, and different countries are paying the agent like from anywhere between like 25 lakhs to even 1 crore and coming to the United States of America through the border of Mexico, eating grass, leaves, and drinking their own urine. Out of 10, only 1 makes it and 9 do not make. I have live examples and I have met each and every one, and that is the reason I am creating awareness and telling people across the globe that please do not come to the United States of America illegally. If you enter America legally, it is heaven. But if you enter America illegally, it is hell. So having said that, comes August, in the month of August in 2003, when I came to the US, my trafficker told me, Harold, you need to take a bank loan. And he takes me to a bank, makes me sign some documents, and within 6 minutes, there's a check of 5 figures in my name. And I was just shocked. He drives me to his house. And every trafficker, whether it is labor trafficking or sex trafficking, these traffickers are basically multi-millionaires. The reason is that this industry of human trafficking is a $150 billion industry after drugs. So the profit margins are very thick, and out of 10, 9 do not get prosecuted. That's why these people are in this particular business of making money. It's like an organization, a fixed crime. So he takes me to his house and takes me to his house to the bar room, puts a scotch in a short glass, and he says, Harold, cheers, let's celebrate, you're a rich man. And the moment I gulp the scotch in my stomach, and before the liquor could touch my stomach down, he gives me a check from his and tells me, Harold, you owe me this money. Now friends, just imagine, in 1 second, I lost 4 things. I lost my voice, I lost my courage, I lost my hope, and I lost my freedom. And that money was not $10,000, not $20,000, not $40,000, but much more. And before I could even understand what hit me, he pats me on the back and tells me, Harold, come on, don't worry, you owe me much more. And next day, he withdraws all the money from my bank account. Comes December, we never saw snow in our life. So we get a note from the school teacher that both my sons cannot come to school if they do not wear snow jackets. Now my kids had sweaters from India which are see-through, and I didn't know what the hell is a snow jacket. Because it's a new country, we didn't know the law, we didn't know the people, I didn't know how this country operates. But my chef, Binda Paji, he bought the snow jackets for my kids. But what I wanted to share that this would have been a red bulb at the school by the teachers. And same way, when he took a loan in my name, it was like a dead bondage. And that is why today I am creating awareness on human labor trafficking in school, colleges and NGOs. When we came to the US in February of 2003, my trafficker told my wife she was on a H-4 dependent visa. He fixed her salary $2,000 a month, where actually she was not supposed to work and we didn't know. Then after a year, my wife confronted the perpetrator in the kitchen and said, "Why don't you pay me my back wages?" Guess what? He looks into her eyes and says, "What? What are you talking? I can call the immigration department right now. You're not supposed to work. You're illegal. And I can get you arrested. I can get you handcuffed." They said, "Do you want to get handcuffed?" And they said, "I will get you jailed and I'll get you deported." So my wife didn't say anything. She said, "Okay, why don't you pay the $1,000 that Harold gave you?" So he calls me. He looks into my eyes and says, very cool, cold-blooded, "Harold, what are you talking? What money? What cash? You never gave me any cash." Now friends, this is a question of trust, and how do I prove it? But in 1 second I lost three things. I lost my faith, I lost my feelings and sentiments. But in God's home there is delay, no denial. So my chef, he heard it and he told me, "Harold, you need to get out of this situation." And that is how our case went to the US Department of Labor and my wife's case went to the Wage and Hour Division. Then my case went to the FBI agent. And from the FBI agent, I got the CP, the continued presence. Then I had the U visa. Then on February 14, 2014, that's a Valentine's Day, Bradley and Rohan received the permanent residency card, and that's why it's a blessing. And I want to share some small examples how they break you, like an individual like me, how they break you. My son, who was small, in 2004, my perpetrator or trafficker took a full-fledged hand and slapped my son in front of me for no rhyme or reason. When a child makes a mistake, you actually discipline him. Even your parents or nobody will hit him. But my son cried for maybe like 120 seconds or 180 seconds for 3 minutes. And he might have forgotten about it. But look at a dad or a father. It sticks to your heart, mind, body and soul. I think that will stick with me till I go to the graveyard. I failed on 4 P's. I tell, I failed as a parent, I failed as a provider, I failed as a person, and these are the things that happened to me. But this is what really thrives to the life of a victim. But these 4 P's got changed into passion, purpose, positive thinking and power. So after these things, I just want to share that I got appointed at the White House by President Barack Obama, and I have been doing this, the Advisory Council reports. I have written a book, A Frog in a Well. Today, both my sons Bradley and Rohan are doing very good in life. Bradley has been appointed as a national scholar, as a global scholar, and was invited to the Nobel Peace Award. He was the youngest director in the United States of America for prevent blindness. My younger son Rohan has won the state championship for tennis, and today he is working for Apple, Rohan, and Bradley is working for Tesla. And as a family, we are very happy. In the end, I would just like to share 4 things to take away from my presentation. Number 1, be happy. Number 2, be thankful. Number 3, be empowered. And number 4, believe in yourself. I would just like to end on one note, is that survivors are poor starters but strong finishers. And one last message to all my friends across the globe. Making a mistake is not a mistake. Making no mistake is a mistake. Repeating a mistake is a big mistake. But learning from your mistakes to help others to live a happy life is not at all a mistake. So in the end, I would just like to tell thank you very much. God bless America, God bless the universe, God bless all the survivors and victims across the globe. Thank you.
Tell us what you think about this video and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.